Good morning. Another beautiful day here at the ranch. It's a little brisk. I think it was about 34, 35 degrees this morning. I know you northerners that may be watching hear us say it's cold, just above freezing, and laugh. When the summertime comes and you are saying it's hot at 80 degrees, we're gonna laugh. But all in good fun. Appreciate y'all hanging out. What we got on the agenda today, we got to get chores done, mainly feeding animals, making sure everybody gets their breakfast this morning. And then we're going to move back down to the fencing project again. I believe we're going to be doing a welding up of the H-braces. We might string a line today and start driving T-posts, but not sure on that. Just depends on time. But that's what we got going on today. For those of y'all that don't know, because you're new here or haven't watched our other videos for whatever reason, we feed our pasture to plate steers every morning in this lane. Our pasture to plate steers are our animals that we raise for beef. We run a cow-calf operation here, and then we hold the calves that we select are the best back, and we carry them out to almost 2 years of age. And once we pull them off their mom around 6 months, they get separated, and then they get to get fed every day in this lane. You see them starting to stick their heads around the corner down there. They get fed in this lane every day. And just to give you a little layout, that's Nana and Poppy's house, which we have recently completed a remodel over there. I'll try to get in there maybe as a sidebar and take a look around and show you, but that's their house. And then we have the barn right there, and you see this lane right here. Well, this lane connects pasture there, connects pasture there, connects pasture there. So the large herd, all the mamas, they're out that way. We feed hay out that way, but we also feed them feed usually a few times a week, just to keep them honest, and to keep them tamed down for us. We don't like high stress in handling our cattle, and usually when you let them go and don't interact with them and keep them honest with the feed and all that kind of stuff, sometimes they can become a little more wild. We try to be gentle with everything that we're doing. So we, during the wintertime, we put feed down for them, as well as it's a good supplement to their hay regimen. So they will, a few times a week, 2-3 times a week, they'll come in through here. They'll come in and eat, and then they will go back out, and we'll shut the gate. We have a few steers over there. I'm going to cover them in just a minute. Our pasture plate steers are kept over there, and every day they come in this way, and they eat, and then they go back out. When we get ready to work cows with whatever may be the case, whether it's vaccinations or if we got calves that need to be castrated, so on and so forth, we pull them into this lane. Once we pull them into the lane, we can sort calves off, because they're a little bit more flighty and scared, and we can go and push them down into the working pens down here and separate them off and start getting them separated, because you don't want to be running large cows and calves through a chute together, because the calves will get trampled, and then we defeat all the purpose of what we're doing. So we'll bring them down here and we'll separate them. Then once the cows get finished eating, we'll drive all the cows into the large pen here on the end. We have another large pen in the back. If we need the space, they'll go in there. And then once everything's in there, we'll start sorting, do what we got to do, and then we use this crowd alley. We also have a small pen back there with temporary panels, and then another pen behind, and we'll use all those pins in this with the system that we built to get what we call the pot right, where everybody's where they need to be, and then we can start working things. And then down on the very end there is where the sweep is, the 90 sweep, and then the chute runs back that way under the barn. Because working cows in the weather, no bueno. So we put our chute under cover so that in the summertime we're not in the sun, in the heat. In the wintertime, we're also out of the sun, but we also have a little bit of shelter under there. It's not enclosed, but it's at least a cover over our head, and we like it. So what I'm doing this morning is I'm closing off the lane gates so that we can start feeding animals this morning. Most of the time during the day, we keep these gates just pinned open because we're driving through here in and out with trucks and trailers and so on and so forth. So they stay open and they get shut. In the morning time, when we feed, and they'll get right back opened again. And for those of you that may be wondering, yes, we did build all of this. It's not the best in the world, but we can make two pieces of metal stay together. I consider that a win. But we built all of this, the pins that were here, and all of the working issues all Frankenstein together from 1959, and it was a nightmare to work cows in. So we decided one year we were going to make that better, and we came through and built the system that I just showed you. All right, let's talk about these little guys for a second. As you can see, they are staring me down. They're hungry. Those guys right there were weaned off of their mamas a few weeks ago. So they're just right at 6 months, a little over 6 months of age. Those guys right there will be the pasture to plate steers of the future. Some of them. There's some others that are over there already, but so come about 18 months from now, they'll be at their full growth potential, and then they'll end up being the beef that we grow for our customers. So we've been feeding them in here. You see we got the hay in there, we got the water in there to wean them off their moms, because moms have to get ready for their next baby. And you can imagine if that guy right there was nursing off of you and you were trying to grow another baby in your stomach, you can imagine what kind of tax that is on a mama cow's body. So we wean them. They are, once we wean them, it's pretty loud out here for at least a few days because they're hollering for mom, mom's hollering for them. Mom's got pressure in her udder. It hurts a little bit. They want the comfort of nursing. They don't need it because they have already been eating feed and hay and so forth. But it's just the comfort of mom. So anyway, it can kind of be a little stressful on them. So they holler and mom hollers back. But after a few days, everything kind of gets right, and mom realizes that it's time for them to grow up, be big boys. So they go on about their business, and they also realize the same and carry on. So what I'm doing this morning is we have been feeding them in here. I don't know if you can see the trough out there, but we've been feeding them in a trough in the pens. Today we're going to put feed out in the lane for them to see if they can eat out of the big boy troughs, if you will, easily. And if they can, then we're gonna turn them out with the other pasture to plate steers and let them all run together, because it just makes our operation a little more simple, because we don't have to make sure that water trough stays filled. We don't have to make sure there's another bale of hay in this pen anymore once we put them with the other steers out there and just consolidate the group. So as long as they can do well out in the lane, today's the day. They get to grow up and they get to go with the big boys today. All right, so we're gonna feed this morning. We try to feed 2 scoops of this a day per animal. 4 of them out there, I think, just 4 of them. So that should make the pot right for them. Hey guys, good morning. Y'all act like you're hungry or something. So I'm gonna go out to that gate over there with my bucket and show them where I'm gonna put it at, because it's gonna be new to them. So I'll kind of lead them out to the trough so they'll be able to find it, and we'll see what happens. And they all think it's their turn, so they're hollering at me because they know the drill. But y'all be next. Just wait. Wait your turn. So, come on, big boys. Oh, we got chains to work with. We had a heifer pinned back in here a little while ago, and she figured out how to throw that latch with her head. She got out. So we got the chain now. And I can't do that with one hand. Stand by. I feel like this is going to go pretty good. What do y'all think? They're already standing here ready to come out. Let's see. So, come on, big boys. Come on, big boys. So. Now they got with the program pretty quick, so we don't have to have them separated anymore. They'll be able to go with the big boys and be able to live life right. Most days Nana does this, and Nana takes care of them. She talks to them, treats them right, low stress. That way we can grow some good beef. Y'all ready for your turn? Gotta make sure the count's right down here. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 9. We got 9 down there. One of them, I don't know if you saw him or not, ain't a steer. He's a bull. We generally would not like to keep him with the steers just because he's a bully and he'll rob the feed from the steers, but we feed him a ration too, because we don't have anywhere else to put him right now. Cows are herd animals. We have places we can put him by himself, but it would just cause problems. He would be walking fences down and so on and so forth, and it's just easier to put a ration of feed down there and just make sure that the others are getting what they're supposed to get. Maybe in the future with rearrangement of pastures or herd or whatever, it's just simpler to let him run with them, and we just deal with it. All right, 9 and 2, 2 per head, 18. I might have spilled a little for the chickens. Oops. I spilled. Sue me. All right, boys, it's breakfast time. Y'all ready? Y'all may have seen the feeder I was scooping out of and stuff, and yeah, we have that automatic feeder. It's really designed to go in the bed of a side by side and so on and so forth. Get your head back in there. Anyway, Nana, she is usually the one that does most of the feeding for us in the mornings. And she prefers to do it with the buckets. It's a little more personal approach. She's able to get in with them, be in and around them, and it helps the operation. So that's the way she prefers to do it. So we just let her go with it and cater to her, because she is the ranch foreman. And when the ranch foreman's happy, the ranch is happy. All right, big boys, it's breakfast time. Are you ready? Let's do it. Stampede! And there's Iron Man doing his thing. Happy, happy, happy. We got seasoned vets in there. We got juniors in there. We got Dad in there. And we got the rookies. We finna have a family reunion. Gotta start her and let her warm up. This cold weather can play havoc on equipment and stuff. And I have had all I could take. I got to get my gloves on. Oh, a couple days ago we had a cow go down with a mineral deficiency. And since gotten her back up, but we're gonna give her a little bit extra this morning. Take care of her. She's been one of our best cows. She's 10 years old now, and she's starting to get older, getting a little tougher on her. So we got her doctored up, and she's back on her feet again. But we're gonna give her one more last hoorah of taking care of her. We'll just go give her this pan of feed that can only be hers and nobody else's, and we'll keep everybody else away. Still eating. They'll figure it out in a minute. This is our dance partner for the day. Old welding rig. Let's see if she starts. It's a family reunion. Who we introduce? New boys with old boys. And that is that. We let them just passively go back out, and sometime during the day we'll close the gate sometimes, but if we need the lane for whatever reason. We got our #1 hand to help us run them out. That's his favorite job. He gets to do it almost every day. He loves it. had to put those hip locks on her the other day to help get her up. You can see where it left a little mark on her hip there. Good thing is, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but cow's skin is what they make leather out of. It's a little bit worse on this side. So she should heal up pretty good, but the fact that she's on her feet today is a really, really good thing. She's a good cow for us. Always raises a good baby. Hey, touch that. Nope. So here's the plan. At the corner here, we're basically finishing up the H braces the other day. We got the poles set in the concrete. We got our crossbars here. We're gonna be welding in between the two pipes. Now this corner here, at the corner has a railroad tie as the corner post. So what we're doing is we're drilling a hole into that railroad tie, and we'll just be setting the post inside that hole. We'll weld up this side, and then we'll use a wire to come across to squeeze them together so that that end of that post will stay inside that railroad tie. Down. See, we got our hole drilled in our old railroad tie. Got it in there 2 or 3 inches out of there. Come across, weld it up. I'm not a professional welder, but we can make 2 pieces of metal stick together. And then we put our little guides, wire guides, all the way down. So we're using this scrap pipe down here because it's just a fence in the bottom in the woods. It's got a lot of tar and stuff built up on it, so we're having to melt through some of that tar to get down to the metal. But that's it. One down. That's 2 with the cap on top. Boss is coming. Better get to work.